Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? Russ here from Porky's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. I say the things on here that nobody dare say. Right, we're just waiting for Big Sean to click on. Uh, it's all good stuff. Uh, so we're going to see, aren't we? We will see where he's at. A lot been going on over the weekend. Obviously, the big news is Fabio Wardley. Smash Parker up, like I told you all. And now just looking at all these weapons in media, all doing the backtracking, all saying, well, I had Parker to win, but I could always see how Wardley could win. No, 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 no. That don't wash with me. You either had Parker to win or Wardley. We don't want no fence sitters like the Gadden, Coogie Bear. You're one or the other. The best man won. I'm fed up of people going on about the stoppage. Could a case be made where it could have been stopped a couple of seconds later? Yeah, but you could make a case for it being stopped a couple of seconds earlier. It depends what referee you've got on the night. If it had been a Bob Arum show or a Tyson Fury had been on there, it wouldn't have been stopped, would it? You know, if the own favourite were getting flogged, it wouldn't have been stopped. A bit like Nathan Cleverly against Kovalev. Terry O'Connor were too scared to death to stop fight, wasn't he? Till Cleverly got put on planet Jupiter. I mean, at the end of one round, he carried him back to corner, didn't he, O'Connor? And that's what you're up against in the sport of boxing. But I don't think Howard Foster should be getting hammered today. I thought he did all right. Here's Big Sean. Women loving men want to be him. How are you doing, Sean?
And really good, thank you, Porky. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Uh, Straight in with it then. The weekend's action. Fabio Wardley, is he a roadman?
He is a solid road man. And the other thing that made me laugh, the only person outside of this that I heard that I saw back him was Big John Fury, which made me laugh out loud. But yeah, they were all talking about how too big, too good Joseph is. He's on the run from the gods and he's going to blast him out there. And because he couldn't put Huni away early on and got outboxed, it was going to be lights out. And he beat him. And he beat him he stopped him and he nearly stopped him in the second round when he was spitting his gum shield out. And we can all talk about refereeing, but Fabio's not the referee and he's got a fantastic victory. And I was so happy as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like you said, he's a person. How can you dislike that guy? He's just got it in him. Like I say, sort of fella that'd turn up to a straightener where there's 50 lads and he'd probably rock up himself. And he's just done it. He's just done it so tough. Chin. I know Joseph isn't the biggest puncher in the division, but some of the shots he took, he's just not got quit in him, has he?
No.
I think he's just done brilliantly, and he's put himself in a position now to either fight Usyk if Usyk wants to fight him, or fight one of the belts as they fragment. Just really happy, genuinely really happy to see him win. Also nice to see the magnanimous nature which Joseph was, because none of the conduct like AJ lobbing belts about and being arrogant. He took it with dignity.
Yeah. What do you think about the media all coming out saying, oh, well, I had Parker to win, but I know I could see a Fabio win. Why can't they just say one or other instead of sitting up fence?
Because that's what they do. They do two things. They sit on the fence and they lick. And when they're not licking, they sit on the fence. When they're not sitting on the fence, they lick. They all do that, don't they? And they were all picking against Wardley. They were all saying, obviously, because Joseph had considerable amateur expertise, he'd been a world champ, he'd done all this. He was on the bounce of three, despite the last fight being against someone 22 and a half stone. There was no way in God's earth he could win. Yet Fabio went and won, and he just thought brilliantly. Such a good fight to watch as well. I was not able to watch it live. I bought it and watched it in the morning when I got home and was released. Yeah, I loved it. I was so happy to watch it, to see him win. And people talking about which we'll probably go on to, about the stoppage, whether it was too early, blah blah blah. But Wardley won. Wardley wasn't the ref. He won and he moves on, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? Uh, Wardley against Usyk. He deserves it, doesn't he? Would you like to see it next for Usyk?
If Usyk fights on, and I know he's got every right to go into the and ride into the sunset now as sort of a three-time unified champ, and he doesn't owe anybody a fight. But if he does choose to fight on, and I think he should, if he doesn't, then the belt should be freed up for those. If he does, then I can't think of anyone who deserves it better. Who? Fury, Joshua, beat him twice. He both. Um, Dubois, obviously no chance. Who else? Who else? Possibly Ajit Kabayel. But I think they've parked him up, haven't they? Although they promise him he's getting a homecoming fight in Germany. But the only other person I think would deserve a fight more is Ajit Kabayel. But even then, who I would much rather, as a Brit, see Fabio and fight. I hope he does as well, because it'll be phenomenal, life-changing money for a bloke, a bloke from Ipswich who seems extremely humble and turned up really humble in the post-fight press conference. And credit to Joseph Parker as well, who did the same as well, because often they go off into the sunset or start beeling like AJ. But he were good. He were good on that one.
Mm. Uh, do you think Wardley's got better because to say they keep putting his name in the same bracket as White Collar? I don't think he's that rough around edges. You know, looking at his style and what he's got going for him. I know he's got
No.
immense power, but I don't think he's that bad. He's quick, isn't he?
Me neither. Like I say, when you consider his combined fighting experiences, zero amateur, four white collar, 21 pro. And what was it before yesterday? Was he's now done 83 professional rounds.
Yeah,
Um, he's still a young pup on that. But yeah, he's getting better. The way I think he's timing, his reflexes are brilliant. His
yeah,
punch resistance phenomenal, and he's so fit. And Dave Allen made a comment about he needs to be like Joseph was too heavy. I thought pot kettle black, and he talked about how he needs to bring his weight down, but he's just naturally that weight as well. You can see in Fabio, he's
yeah,
such a natural 17 stone 4 lad. There's
yeah.
not a tainted supplement in that body. You can just tell from the physique he's built for it.
Yeah, Parker and Rhino, they're over £30 heavier than when they first started out. So I think they've took the foot off at gas and people have got into them and they're saying, oh, you need to be heavier, this and that. Why? Usyk's same height as Rhino and he's 16
Yep.
stone. So why does Rhino need to be 18 and a half?
Because he can't keep his head out the fridge. At least Joshua Joseph, as poor a decision it is, looks like he's done it in the gym. If we're not saying he's done it other ways, but it's weight he didn't need, and he still didn't fight like a heavier man. So it's wasted weight on him, and I dare say it's contributed to his performance not being as good. But I always thought Fabio was going to win, and we said it like you said it before anyone else.
Yeah,
And I never bet on boxing, Porky, because you know the last time I bet on boxing, I bet on Audley to beat Hay because I'm an idiot. But I bet on him to. I put two bets on, and one was in the later rounds. I think 9 to 11 or 9 to 12, and I won a nice sum. So I was doubly elated. Obviously, I'm not promoting gambling.
yeah, no, obviously we're not, are we? But we lose more than, well, I tend to lose more than I win now because there's always usually one fight that knocks me up in an accumulator. Because I've won a
Yeah,
couple of good accumulators and it's a nice
yeah,
feeling. You can usually
yeah,
pick six easy ones that have the eight fights. There's usually two that usually are a bit tight. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
You go either
yeah.
way.
I accidentally fought on the worst co-main chief support as well by accident because I
Yeah,
don't know bet. I accidentally bet on that IBO cruiserweight title fight. I won 44p. That's how stacked the odds were on that one. But yeah, I think it saved what is possibly the world's worst ever pay-per-view undercard as well.
yeah.
And I might be being too
It were your
grandiose.
call undercard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I say, some nice little fighters on there. I love Royston Barney Smith, talented
Yeah.
lad. Some good little fights on there. Shiraz's cousin making his debut, good little fight. But it was a York Hall, and there's nothing wrong with a York Hall card, but
No.
don't charge 25 quid for it.
They got away with murder with Wardley fight and Parker. It saved their bacon, really. But like I said, the average box rate ranking for each fight were 397, which is poor for a pay-per-view. I think it's the lowest ranked one ever
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
pay-per-view.
and like I say, yeah, and I think Steve Woodall coming in at late notice. I know he had a fight a couple of weeks later, but I think he deserves a lot of credit for coming in and showing that much heart in a fight against Ezra Taylor, who's looking better the more I see him. But I just thought I don't know what he got paid in that fight, but he earned it. And thankfully, obviously, his corner or the ref had seen enough towards the end because he took a shellacking in there. But he's such a tough guy, so I liked watching him. Didn't like watching him get hurt, obviously, but I thought he had a lot of cojones to fight how he did at that little notice as well.
Yeah. Uh, Big John Fury rocked up. He says Parker's team didn't know what they were doing, didn't know what they were doing, blah, blah, blah. Do you think there might be a bit of intense beef there between Go to Andy Lee and Big John, the big fighting man? What do you think?
Yeah, because I thought they were all pals, obviously, because Lee was part of his
Supposed to be family, aren't they?
yeah,
Family. Saying?
yeah, well, like I say, both travel and lineage, and obviously when Fury used to have about 37 people in his corner, Lee was one of them for a bit. So I don't know what's happened there. But yeah, I don't put much truck in what John said, but he got his betting prediction right for once. But yeah, he was sniping about Andy Lee, but I don't know what his corner instructions were. But I did the thing that I should do more as well when I watched the fight to avoid listening to Bean. I watched it on mute. And it was a lot. I enjoyed it more watching it on
Yeah.
mute, which probably says a lot about the modern commentators.
Oh, God. Well, if you're listening to Super Bean, he could just send you crazy, can't he? Super Bean.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, it just I've seen the highlights since with him with the commentators, but I like watching it in silence. I'm an antisocial sod anyway, but it was much better just watching the fight instead of listening to his hyperbole and drivel. It was nice, but just what a fight! Really enjoyed the fight as well, and it made me not regret paying 25 quid. Obviously, I don't like paying for anything because I'm northern, but I'm just really proud of all. Not that he cares about some dickhead like me being proud, but I'm really proud of him and pleased for him.
Oh, I'm really proud for Fabio because he's done it the hard way, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, yeah, he has. He has. There's something in him. There's just something within him that that innate fighter and stuff. And but he doesn't pretend. What I love about him is he doesn't pretend to be a roadman. He doesn't do a David Adelaide. And I know it's to flog tickets and get clout, but he's from Ipswich. He used to work in recruitment. He was handy as a lad. He got involved in some scrapes, did some unlicensed, turned over, carried on from there. Never boasted, never claimed he's better than anyone else. He's just done, and every time he stepped up a bit, I remember it before the Simon Vallely fight, Valley was trying to wind him up. You could just tell there's no fear in Fabio.
No, no, he goes into a fight with right mindset, doesn't he? Like he's just going to ice him.
Yep, I bet you his nerves haven't changed since he was having probably having a straightener when he was 18 to now. He's just built for it, literally and figuratively. He's just got it. And I'm so proud because we don't have to listen to the parties around the Dubois clan or a big entourage or anything. It's just refreshing. It's refreshing. He's not overly commercialized like AJ flogging everything or Fury flogging his furiosity. Bit of a throwback, and a few people have said that in the interviews I've heard, and I know they're all jumping on the bandwagon. But it's good to get him see him get some praise as well, if I can get my words out. Yeah, so really happy, really cheered me up. That has loved it.
Good. Just give me an answer. When I throw you some of these names here, just give me an answer. I either say shot to bits or something left in tank. I'll throw you a few names up here. Gerald Miller.
There's certainly something left in his tank. I'm not sure if it's legal,
Oh,
but
God.
sub elite. Yeah, there's probably
Okay.
lots in his tank that comes via a syringe. Gobshite.
Big Bang Zang coming up to 43-year-old, shot to bits or something left in tank.
Somewhat left in tank for 3 rounds, then knackered.
Okay. Otto Wallin,
Otto Wally, now left.
Yui,
World class talent, no class health.
Louis Ortiz,
Pensioner,
Wilder,
beyond shot.
Rhino,
Lazy,
Tyson Fury,
liar, shot.
shot.
Shot liar.
Joshua, shot in it.
Glass chin, commercial.
Just hanging around for commercial. But is he, as a fighter, has he got something left or is he shot to bits?
Shot to bits.
Joseph
Need
Parker.
to. Too heavy, can come again.
Will Andy Lee get the sack?
Yes.
I believe he will as well. Go to Andy Lee! He's the best, the new Dark Lord. All that knackers they were
Yeah.
chatting, eh? All of them.
Yeah.
They all
The only thing
turned
I'm
on
worried
him. They
about,
all turned on him in the end, didn't they? His own friends.
yeah, we just need to be careful. Ben Davison's going to end up with so many heavyweights, none of them will be able to fight each other, though. So don't go to Ben.
Joe Joyce.
Sadly, very, very damaged now.
Okay. Derek War Chisora.
Middle class, shot, bully.
Okay. Dylan the Can Man White. Anybody who wants it can get it as long as they're over 40 with COVID.
3-time pad, shell of a man.
Yeah. Well, it's 4 time if you count K1, isn't it?
Yes, it is. 4-time pad, shot, shell of a man.
All-time cheat in a fight in 2 months on pay-per-view coming off a one-round shallacking, only in boxing. It's a little bit like Eddie Hills saying Dave Allen might have got a beating of his life, but his stock's gone up. What? Dave never won a round, got punched upside down, and his stock's gone up. Oh, is that boxing
Him
2025?
and Chisora, it's like when they kept doing them specials on Only Fools and Horses. I'm like, come on, this wasn't been funny for 20 years. Knock it on the head.
I see where you're coming from, mate. It's absolute pony, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beyond pony.
Yeah, it's well, it's taking liberties now. What's going on here? Because they're going to wheel Zhang out for somebody, and I think it's going to be Rhino. Now, I think that'll put mileage on Rhino, and then my original prediction, Rhino will be wheeled out to meat market in a slaughter with Elmer Fudd.
Yeah, Dave's going to end up with very bad um, damage as an older man. I worry, um, and yeah, but it's of his own making and his own choice, so he'll make his own decisions and he's getting paid. But yeah, I think that's exactly what will happen. What you've just mentioned there.
Yeah, they're going to wheel him out, keep wheeling him out, getting him knocked about, and then he'll come back from Elmer, won't he? And
Yeah,
well,
yeah, he was.
they'll call it the decider.
They will. He was on a call with obviously PC Plod. No, not PC Plod. IFL had him and Eddie on for a little thing, and he thought he was begging to come on the November the 29th show, but he said no, he's fighting in January. So he's got to presume he's going to fight someone he can beat, and then who they wheel him out for next, I don't know.
Well, why
He
would
wanted to fight Chris Lovejoy, but Lovejoy's coming off a couple of El Sparkos to misquote Frotch, so who knows who will fight.
well they'll probably want to get a quick win in on an 8 rounder because then he can be in contention for the winner of Big Freeze and TKV. But if you're coming off a loss, you can't be in contention. So he's going to need a win to get
Yeah,
back in mix for that. Like he got Lewis Boover win, and now Lewis
yeah.
fighting for area belt on a Rhino show in Donny next month. So
Although you've mentioned before, surname of the gentleman, was it Tommy Frank? He got one off a loss.
yeah, he got one up a loss. Dennis going that, but don't forget, there's only about 10 people in that weight division.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. For your top 10 anyway, aren't you?
And the border control would have like to keep that them belts happy than flyweight belts. They've always been like a round robin, so it's a bit different to heavyweights, isn't it?
Such an intelligent point that I'd not thought of that. You're right.
Yeah. BKB, the rise of BKB. If some big names from boxing cross over the street to BKB, will the House of Cards fall in?
Where small all's concerned, I think it could because it's
Yeah.
increasingly selling tickets. There was another show at the weekend. I watched the yesterday while I was at the gym. I watched BKFC 83 in Italy, but it had a lot of British fellas on it,
Yeah.
Welsh, and some Welsh fella stuff. And there was a Bad to the Bone promotion on this weekend. So they're fighting regularly. They're increasingly getting on Box Rec, so they're becoming more mainstream. The fights are a lot more match. You're not watching 20 and 0, never fought anyone against 0 and 62. So any four increasingly bigger people follows alongside to follow the Trouts and the Malignagis are older. Who's to say they won't start switching over earlier if it's actually competitive and the money's there? So it's not a healthy time for small for boxing or and much less small or boxing, despite what Juggies says.
Yeah, Juggies. I've got a bit of a problem with him now, Juggies, because whatever narrative he's told to put out, he gives his opinion on it, but then the next day they change it, the flip flopping. And surely they must know they're showing themselves up, these Talksport lads, right? There's flip flopping and going into bat for your mates and certain promoters already today. And I said this other day, watch what happens if Wardley wins, what they do. He's coming out and saying, well, I can see how Wardley beats Usyk. He's got the power and get ready for Bean coming out at some point today. Monday Mass, Titty Tuesday, the Wednesday Wanks, Sunday Sermons, whatever. Bean will come out with something like, the last thing you lose is your power. You
Yeah,
watch.
well, you could pre-write our thing and saying you're right, so they do flip-flop, but I think they do it so regularly, it's almost just you
Like it
don't
didn't
know.
happen.
Yeah, and it's almost like people don't notice it because it just happens so regularly, particularly like Talksport as being almost like that voice of boxing now, obviously because they've not bought 750,000 subscribers like some others. But it is just regular, regular, regular. So we almost don't notice it, but obviously we do. But most people don't, and they'll just pretend like yesterday it didn't happen.
Yeah, okay. Dylan White against Derek Chisora. They fought 9 years ago in the first one. The second one was 7 years ago. And now they're going to fight again. Uh, I've got Derek absolutely giving him a beating of his life this time. Have you?
I have. I thought he won the first one. Obviously, he
Yeah.
didn't win the second one. I think he's got Derek is like I say, and I chide Derek and stuff because he's Derek, but he's got a lot more left, and that's not a lot, but he's got a lot more left than Dillian. Dillian is whoa, yeah. When you fight like that against Tete, and then fall over against Atama, however good a prospect he is, and your one world title fight, you were so poor against Tyson. Um, there's nothing there, is there? There's
No.
nothing there other than a name and a fake beef. And I just dread to think the build up as well. And Derek will pretend to get aggressive, and then Dillian will talk about it. And you just think, oh God, you could pre-write the drivel they're going to come out with before they say it, can't you?
Will it be fake beef or intense beef? I don't. Which will it
It
be?
might even be fake intense beef, Porky.
Fake
You never
intense
know.
beef.
Yeah, it remain it remains to be seen. But what it won't be is a fight anybody needs to see amongst two people long since past the bet. And Dillian, really damaged fighter now. He's made enough money, surely, for someone who never won a world title. He's been had some paydays, hasn't he?
There were some trinket belts on show overnight on Bricktop Show. Uh, do you think they'll put an IBO Continental Silver out there for Chisora and White?
There'll be something, and I wouldn't. Surely Frank can get a WBO something into. I mean, they'll. I think they
Global,
make them. I think they melt.
Intercontinental
Oh,
Global Silver or something.
they do the globals now, don't they? Yeah, they love.
Yeah.
Frank can probably get a WBO something via just a click of the fingers. So there'll be something on show for him to be shiny and fighting for as well. And Chisora does seem to have some standing within some of the governing bodies as well. So I'm sure they can slot them in to fight for something. Can't we know how these rankings work?
Well, part two, our kid.
Looking forward to it.
See you on part two. Pop, pop, bang.
See you in a moment.